Welcome to my brand new dork corner. I like this corner. So if any of my newer viewers are unfamiliar with this, I have a segment on my channel that I do from time to time, and I refer to it as an overlooked movie review. And what that means is it's a film that I think is really good, or that is underrated, or that just didn't make a lot of money at the box office. It's a way for me to talk about a movie that isn't like the big movie of the week. You know, maybe this one went by without you noticing it. Maybe it slipped under the rug a little bit. Perhaps it deserves your attention. I put a playlist on my home channel of all of my overlooked reviews I've done so far. If you want to go to my channel page, you can see that playlist and see the other reviews I've done. Let's talk about Cowboy Bebop, the movie. Cowboy Bebop, the movie, is possibly, in my opinion, the greatest anime film ever made. There's a lot of different animes that I really like. Films like Akira or Ghost in the Shell. Those were animated films that changed the way America viewed cartoons, because cartoons in America mean something very different than it means over in Japan. See, in Japan there's this great use of animation for realism, for mature adult things. Now I'm not talking about hentai. I'm talking about, you know, mature films in the other sense. In America, where cartoons are generally looked at as entertainment to please young people, in Japan it's something that is for everyone, and I really like that about Japan and the anime they use there. So not only am I a fan of this film, but I am also a fan of the TV show. This is actually my favorite anime. If you have not seen Cowboy Bebop, I strongly suggest it. If you're not a fan of anime, I strongly suggest it anyway, because this is the type of anime that you can start watching and just appreciate for its artistic value alone. The music in it is incredible, and this transfers over to the film. So let's talk a little bit about the plot of this series. Essentially, the show takes place in the future where a lot of people have migrated away from Earth and are now living in space or on Mars or other places around the galaxy. This show centers on a group of bounty hunters, and these guys go around looking for bounty heads, but they're generally always poor and in need of money and starving, and the show has just as much humor as it has intense drama and incredible action. The main character's name is Spike, and Spike Spiegel is this guy who has a serious past with his old syndicate that he used to be a part of. And in this movie, this group of bounty hunters encounter this really evil guy named Vincent. This guy is dead set on this sort of chemical warfare. Some things were done to him in the past that have really ruined him, and he wants to set that loose on mankind. And the bounty hunters are trying not only to catch him, because there's a humongous bounty head on him, like an absurd amount of money that would set them all for life, but they also want to save mankind. Now, it's impossible for me to review the Cowboy Bebop film or the series without talking about its style. It is incredible. There are few feature-length films with the amount of style that show and this movie have. Yoko Kanno, the composer, is an absolute genius. I would love to be able to meet her someday, even if she can't speak English. I'm not sure if she can. I'd probably just walk up to her and be like, "Hello, your music is amazing," and she'd be like, "Ah!" She uses old-time jazz combined with contemporary rock, combined with heavy metal. There literally is no genre that you can pinpoint in her music. And her music, combined with this film and this series, created a whole genre around itself. And that honestly is what Cowboy Bebop is about. It is its own thing. It's its own genre. You can't identify it alongside anything else.
There is nothing in this world to believe in.
You know what they say, cowboy. Easy come, easy go.
As the film progresses and as the characters try harder and harder to catch this guy Vincent, they run into each other a few times, they have a few battles. It's all extremely riveting. The way the film looks, the way the film sounds, there is no other animated film like this. You don't have to have seen the series to enjoy this film. In fact, this film is completely standalone from the series. It takes place in the middle of a few episodes towards the latter half of the show. If you are interested in starting out with anime, if you've never watched anime, if you think anime is stupid or boring, I implore you, please check out this show, Cowboy Bebop, but also check out this movie first. This would be a great way to get you into the show, and it's completely standalone from the show, and you can experience it for the first time. If you have not seen any anime, I strongly suggest checking out a few. Some of my favorites are, of course, Dragon Ball Z. I grew up with Dragon Ball Z. Trigun is excellent. Outlaw Star, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. Other anime films that are good are Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro. Really, honestly, anything directed by Hayao Miyazaki is worth your time. But this is kind of a combined thing. It's an anime review, but it's also an overlooked movie review. This is a movie that made less than $1 million at the American box office. It's a film that really only anime fans or fans of Cowboy Bebop probably sought out. If you are not a fan of Cowboy Bebop, if you've never seen it, if you're not a fan of anime, if you don't watch it, I strongly suggest checking this film out and letting me know what you thought. I'm going to give Cowboy Bebop the movie, or as it's called in Japan, Cowboy Bebop Knockin' on Heaven's Door, an A. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and as always, if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.
He called you a cowboy. What did he mean? What are you?
Just a humble bounty hunter, ma'am.